Hey there YouTube, it's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Today I'm going to do kind of an interesting video. Yesterday I received my employee health screening at work. And I work at a hospital, but I know a lot of companies will do this. You go to a health screening, and if your screen is good, they'll actually save you some money on your health insurance. So at my work, you can save up to $90 a year, which isn't a ton. But, you know, whatever, it's free money. And there's no penalty even if you come up real bad. So there's no reason not to do it. Plus, it's a free set of blood work, which you should be getting anyways. If you're over the age of 20, you should, you know, every so often get your blood levels checked. So I'm 28. It is the time in my life where things like your cholesterol and that are important. So I went and I got my screen done. And a couple of things about the screen were a little funny to me, and I'll explain that in a second. But the reason I'm doing this is because a lot of people out there who are critical of flexible dieting or if it fits your macros say you might look good and you might achieve a lean body, but you're not healthy because you eat junk food. And even eating any bit of junk food means you can't be healthy. Well, proof's in the numbers, and I'm going to go over my test with you. Before I read some of my results, let me first state that daily I probably go over the RDA for cholesterol, you know, the recommended daily allowance, 2 to 3 times on an average day. I mean, I think they recommend 300 milligrams or less. I might be wrong, but you get that in a couple of eggs. Red meat, shellfish, anything like that, pretty high in cholesterol. The thing is, dietary intake of cholesterol and blood levels of cholesterol are not as related as they would make you think, and I'm just really trying to prove that if you're in overall good health, you're relatively lean, and you exercise, it doesn't matter if you take in a lot of cholesterol or a lot of sugar for that matter. Even when I'm in a deficit like I am now, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm cutting, I still find a way to get between the 75 and 100 grams of sugar a day. When I'm bulking, I'm sure it's even worse than that. And people say, well, you still have to worry about diabetes, this and that. Well, I'll say this. I've never in my life, and I work at a hospital, I work with sick people, I've never met a type 2 diabetic who had sub 15% body fat, worked out 3 or more days a week, and calculated macronutrients and weighed all their food. Not saying it's impossible, but I haven't met you. So, that being said, let me talk a little bit about my results for those people out there that say if it fits your macros, you can't be healthy if you're following that. So, alright, my cholesterol panel, my total cholesterol was 116. That is fine. Anything below 200 is what they consider good. So I was 116, I was well below that. Then there's your HDLs, or the good cholesterol. Basically, they consider under 40 to be a risk, desirable 40 to 60, and exceptional greater than 60. I was 67, so my high-density lipoproteins were exceptional. Alright, my LDLs, that's your low-density lipoproteins, or the bad cholesterol. What they consider, let me see, here it is. Alright, desirable, under 100, near desirable, 100 to 130, and there's borderline high up to 160, high up to 190. Anything greater than 190 is very high. And if you have high LDLs and low HDLs, that's just a marker that you're at risk for heart disease, cardiovascular problems. My LDLs were 24. Remember, under 100 is desirable. I was 24. The lady actually, when the blood work spit out, said that was the lowest she had seen this whole round of health screening. So then proceeded to ask me if I run a lot. You can imagine what was going through my head, and I just said, no ma'am, I lift. But that being said, you know, my triglycerides were 128, normal is anything under 150. So basically my cholesterol panel was exceptional. My fasting glucose was 75, so anything under 100 is normal. So all those people that think that 100 or 200 grams of sugar I might get in a day are going to cause me to get diabetes, you're full of it. Here's where it gets a little bit funny. We go over, and part of the test is a BMI. Well, at 6'1", they've got me down at 200 pounds. I'm a little less than that, but I weigh myself first thing in the morning after I pee. This was after I worked a 12-hour shift, and I had to pee, and it was the end of the day. Be that as it may, my BMI is 27.1. That's overweight. Anybody who does even a little bit of lifting and has built up even a little bit of muscle mass, you're going to have an overweight BMI. BMI is almost pointless for people like me. I have a low body fat. There's no way my BMI, even at my leanest, even if I get down to like 8%, 7% body fat, I will still be overweight on a BMI scale. So the BMI is about worthless for me. And I know I've talked about this in previous videos, but body fat testing. They said, now we're going to test your body fat. And I just thought, really? What method are you going to use to test my body fat? And the lady brings out the little device to grab with your hands, and I'm thinking, oh, here it goes. This is going to give me a result anywhere between 5 and 20. Those body fat testers where you just grab the little metal bars and it reads a reading, they're worthless. They might be the stupidest way to test your body fat. I'm going to say the margin of error is over 10%. What did it mark me as? It marked me at 17.2% body fat. Not a chance in hell my body fat's that high. It's just not. That's off by probably 5%. I'm probably 5, maybe even 6% less than that. You know, I have pretty much visible abdominals at this point in my cut. There's no way my body fat is that high. For me, it doesn't make a difference because they consider anything under 20% for a male to be okay. But I'm sure there's some people out there that are getting dinged on their employee health testing because it's reading their body fat is too high, and it really isn't. And I'm sure there's the opposite. I'm sure there's people who should be getting dinged that are coming under. And I even said to the lady, you know, how worthless inaccuracy that was, and she didn't really have a comment back. But yeah, so that was my blood work, and just proving that If It Fits Your Macros can be healthy. If you get yourself down to an appropriate level of body fat, if you exercise regularly, lift some weights, and your diet's on point, not meaning you eat good for you foods, but your macronutrients and your micronutrients are being met every day. In addition to achieving a body that you desire, you will also get healthy. So I'm actually met enough of my goals to save my $90 for the year. And it's funny what I use that $90 for. For $250 a pay, I can have access to the gym at work, which is nice because I can go there, you know, whenever I want. I don't usually work out there, but there are times that it's convenient for me to go there if I want to work out after work, before work, something like that. So it works out to be about the same amount of money. So the money I save is actually, you know, going to go to the gym. But that's really all I wanted to talk about. Nothing crazy today. Just wanted to shout at all those naysayers that, yeah, if it fits your macros, you can be healthy. So. Alright, that's about all I have to say. Hopefully you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comments below or at the Facebook page, and I'll see you guys next time.